Alrighty, so as a car guy, I have to admit this is one of the most fun places that I could see myself working. Our clients have a lot of really cool cars, but if I'm being honest, over the past couple of years, it feels like that wow factor has started to diminish a little bit, but that just was not the case for this GT3RS. This was one of the most exciting days I've had here. This was for one of our longtime clients. We've done a ton of his cars, most of which we've done the Envious Touch package on, and this is no different. This is gonna be going through kind of how we go about our Envious Touch package, from delivery to inspection, polishing, paint protection film, ceramic coatings, window tint, and then tidying everything up and getting it ready for delivery. So let's get it in the shop and we'll go through it, see how we protected it. Now, this wasn't the first 24 GT3RS that we've done. We've actually done a black one previously, but that one had already had a full front paint protection film, so our client didn't necessarily want to do the rest of it. He just wanted to do a paint correction and ceramic coating, so that's what we did there. But this GT3RS is the first one that we've been able to do a full Envious Touch package on. So polishing, paint protection film, ceramic coatings, window tint. Might be missing something. Obviously, you can pause the video here to see what the Envious Touch package entails and see what this GT3RS is getting. But we're gonna go through kind of every point of the process here. So let's get into it. So to start, I gotta let you in a little secret, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your brand new car is not perfect, and neither was this. The window sticker for this thing was $313,000. Even this wasn't perfect. We brought it in on a flatbed from delivery, so it wasn't driven, and it's still not perfect. That's just the name of the game. That's why we do a full inspection prior to doing anything on the car. We're gonna go through and make sure that we know any sort of damage, any sort of little issue here and there. So this does two things. Gotta admit, covers our but it also gives our clients peace of mind. Because quite frankly, we're human. We're not perfect, we've made mistakes. Once in a blue moon, a panel is scratched or a tab is broken. As crappy as it is to hear that something happened on your brand new car, you'd much rather go with the guys that are gonna be willing to own up to it and say, hey, this is what happened, here's the solution, how do we make sure that you're happy? And not try and hide it from you. But going into the inspection for this GT3RS, you'll see, like I was saying, it has some swirls, has some marring, has some nicks. This thing wasn't perfect, which is why we do this sort of thing prior to even touching it. So once that's finished, we start with our disassembly, being that this is a custom paint protection film install. And if you're not familiar with the difference between a custom and a kit install, definitely check out the other video that I linked. But regardless, we're gonna be doing the disassembly prior to washing it because some of the panels can trap some dirt and debris that's gonna start to affect and fall into PPF. But it's also to make sure that we can get the film as seamless as possible. We also removed all of the decals so that we could install the PPF on the flat panel, and then later, after it's finished, we will reapply new Porsche certified decals. So it'll get a wash, clay, chemical paint decontamination. This will strip the paint of any sort of oils, contaminants, debris, that sort of stuff. Then, depending on the current condition of the paint, we'll do what we refer to as our primer polish. I don't have a video of the gray one getting polished, so just pretend that this is the gray one. The polishing enhances the gloss of the paint and then also makes sure that the film has a much better surface for it to adhere to. Heads up, some shops will try and sell you on a true paint correction prior to doing full body paint protection film, or simply refer to this polishing step as a paint correction, which neither should be the case. This polishing step isn't a true paint correction, and if you're familiar with the process, a true paint correction requires compounding and polishing, and this is solely a polishing effort. And if you're not familiar with paint correction, you can definitely check out that video as well. But for full body paint protection film, for the majority of cars, paint correction is gonna be a waste of money. Now, why do I say that? A lot of the films nowadays are gonna be hiding a majority of the marring on the surface of the paint. And if you're covering it from head to toe, you should be waiting for a true paint correction down the line when you do remove the film. But I can make a whole video about that. So if you wanna see a video explaining why that's the case, definitely leave a comment and subscribe because we're gonna be doing a lot more of this style of video. So once it has been polished, it's gonna be re-washed and then brought up to the front where we're gonna be doing the paint protection film. It's gonna be re-prepped, and then that's when we start the film. Now, Eric and Eric make this process look super easy, but that's because they've been working together for years. Trust me, we've seen some clients try and do some DIY paint protection film. This stuff is not easy, especially doing it the way that we do with the custom install, trying to wrap all the edges and corners, getting it to be as seamless as possible. Obviously, this is a very lengthy process, but it takes a lot of skill and experience. So you really have to do your due diligence in finding the right installer. Now, you'll notice that the headlights and the hood vents are actually removed. And again, that's part of our custom install where we're laying the panel in its entirety, layering everything down, hand trimming it to where it's underneath those edges and you don't see those lines. So once the PPF has been installed, we're gonna replace all the decals with Porsche OEM decals so that it matches. And then we'll do the window tinting as well as the ceramic coatings for the body, the faces and barrels of the wheel, as well as the calipers and the interior. This basically rounds everything out. After that's done, we're gonna be doing our final inspection, getting it prepped for delivery, and it would be on its way. As with any PPF install, we always have a 2-week follow-up. That way we can make sure that we tidy everything up. All of the edges are down, especially considering with our custom install, we're pushing the limits a little bit, and sometimes those limits push back, so we wanna make sure that it matches our standard. Usually only takes about 15-20 minutes, so after that you should be good to go. We use Supreme Detail Supply products for literally everything that we did on this car, from paint protection film, window tinting, ceramic coatings, and even like the quick detail spray after the fact. So if you're looking for a video on how to properly maintain your PPF, definitely make sure to check out that one. It has everything you need, including a discount link for Supreme Detail Supply. Like I said in the beginning, this was a super exciting project. Thank you very much to all of our longtime clients, but if you guys need anything, definitely feel free to reach out. Our information is going to be linked down here, but if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Make sure to subscribe because we're going to be doing some more videos like this soon. If you guys have any suggestions, by all means, leave them below or DM us on Instagram. Thanks guys, have a good one.